Topic 3, the Roaring Twenties, USA 1919 to 1929. Key Issue 1, how and why did the USA achieve prosperity in the 1920s? Isolationism. Following the First World War, the USA chose a policy of isolationism. The Republican-controlled US Congress had rejected the League of Nations, which had been part of President Woodrow Wilson's 14-point plan. Most Americans were not keen on the League of Nations due to its costs and losses of the First World War. Hence, they voted in the isolationist Republican Warren Harding in 1920. Tariff policy. 2 tariff acts were brought in by President Harding. These were to ensure foreign goods did not compete with home-produced goods. First act was in 1921, Emergency Tariff Act. It increased tariff rates on European farm produce. The second act was in 1922, the Fordney-McCumber Tariff Act gave the President the power to raise and lower tariff rates on all imports. This aided the 1920s boom in the USA, but made it more difficult to sell goods abroad with reactionary tariffs. Industry and mass production. The First World War had made the USA wealthy. New mass production techniques such as the assembly line, pioneered by Henry Ford, meant goods were produced quicker and more affordably. By 1929, Ford were producing more than 1 car per minute. A Model T Ford cost $295 in 1928, but had cost $1,200 in 1909. The consumer industry experienced a boom with previously luxury items such as radios, fridges, hoovers and telephones now being available to the masses due to hire purchase. Advertising encouraged spending and became a business in itself. Entertainment. Entertainment became a multi-million-dollar industry, which led to the US becoming the centre of world entertainment. Radio helped make jazz and national music craze. New dances such as Charleston broke reserved traditions. Cinema spread the film industry to millions of Americans. Combined, these saw the decade referred to as the Roaring Twenties. Finance. The Republican governments believed in laissez-faire economics with minimum interference. Income tax was reduced and interest rates were lowered, giving people more money to spend. Hire purchase allowed monthly instalments to be paid, making goods affordable. People got into debt without any planning for the future. Shares saw increasing demand, with 1.5 million people buying shares in the 1920s. Banks lent money they didn't have, and people were borrowing money and using credit to purchase shares. No one anticipated the significant drops in share prices. This was a major factor in the start of the Great Depression in October 1929.
You can use the 5 W's technique to help answer source questions. Who produced the source? Photographer for a news article. What does the source show? Photograph of the newly designed Ford assembly line. Where was the source produced? USA, a Ford factory. When was the source produced? 1913, preparing for mass production. Why was the source produced? In the 1920s, prosperity and wealth were reflected in new technology and leisure activities. As a result, mass-produced vehicles became common throughout the US and Canada.
We hope you have found this video useful for your revision. Don't forget to check out our other resources for AQA Modern World History B, including interactive activities, games and videos.